So last week I talked about my pet peeve of when people constantly bash the church. But another pet peeve that I have is when people bash themselves. And it happens a lot of times, like sort of as a joke, or at least we hide behind a joke, like, oh, yeah, what an idiot I am, or like I'm fat, or I'm just so ugly, I can't do anything right, whatever that is. And even if it happens sort of as a joke, it makes me sad. Like, it makes me sad when people don't show respect and value to themselves. And I used to do this a lot myself, like years ago, and I had a friend in my life who would just never let me get away with saying anything derogatory about myself. Like, whenever I did, she would just call it out right away, and like, why are you doing that? Stop saying that about yourself. And I had never really thought about it before. It's just kind of, I just, sort of did it. So I started being aware of it and realized, I really need to change this. Like, it's important what I choose to say about not just other people, but myself, And it says in the Bible that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And our words really are that powerful. We can break a person down by our words. We can kill a person by our words. Like I don't think it's a coincidence that gossip and murder are right next to each other in the Bible. And we know that that's not okay to do about others, but where do we get the idea that it's okay to do that to ourselves? Because when you do that, when you're constantly putting yourself down, you're bashing yourself, you are agreeing with lies that the enemy is trying to throw at you, because it's not who God says you are. So do you want to agree with what the enemy says about you, or do you want to agree with what God says about you? And I know that a lot of the bashing, especially among Christians, comes from like a fear of being prideful. So we try and like go the opposite direction and downplay ourselves as much as possible and bash ourselves so that we at least won't be prideful. But that's just not healthy. That's just not the way to go. Like, just to go the opposite direction. That's it's actually calling God a liar. Like, to be completely, like, brutally honest with you, because it's not who he says that you are. You're wonderfully made, and Jesus loved you. He loves you so much that he chose to die for you. And we're his kids. We're his children. We're a new creation, and all those things. So if you, some of you probably have kids watching this, but even if you don't, like, if you had a kid who would constantly say how worthless they were, how ugly, dumb they were, like, how would you feel about that as a parent? Like, imagine that, and imagine like what God feels when you say those things about you. Because by the words, whether they're negative or positive, the words that we speak out over ourselves, we create worlds. We create beliefs and really value, and like that inner world that we create inside of us is what's influencing other people. Other people can feel that. So it's really important to be kind to ourselves, and like pretty recently, I did this. I wasn't aware of it, but a friend pointed out, like, hey, you just said it like several times, said like derogatory things by yourself during this evening, kind of as a joke, just as I mentioned in the beginning. So I've been guilty of this even recently, and she pointed it out to me. I was like, oh wow, thank you for saying that. I told her, like, I was really thankful that she did, and I just asked God, why did I do this, and it was actually, I was frustrated because I'd made a decision that I wasn't sure if it was the right one. So I was like subconsciously bashing myself, and it was, it's good, when you catch that, if you catch yourself saying something, or if a friend does, it's good. Oh, okay, well, that's not true. And then just like speaking the opposite over yourself, because like I said, you create beliefs about yourselves and value, and those things are gonna influence the choices you make in life. And based on those things, that the value that you have for yourself, the respect, is going to influence the person that you choose to be with. If you don't have a lot of value for yourself, you're not going to choose a very good person, most likely. So be kind to yourself. Like, you're worth it. Don't be like, don't think it's okay to bash yourself. Like, it's okay to not do to other people that it's okay to do it to yourself. It's not, and you're worth so much better than that. So thank you guys for listening and watching. Love you guys. Bye.